The Gift, a recent poem by Hal McCartor. He's in his 90s. He's the oldest person he knows. His health is fine, but memory sketchy and hearing poor. Often he asks his wife to repeat herself. Creativity sustains him. He recently took up painting in pastels. He likes the landscapes that have come of this. When writing, he appreciates the challenge of finding the proper words to express himself. Martin Buber called his attention to the difference it makes addressing another as a fellow being rather than a thing. Some years ago, he started greeting the hollyhocks in his garden and the ferns and crows he met along the trail as fellow beings. Twice, unexpectedly, love spontaneously appeared. This week, when the fresh, translucent leaves of spring arrived, he felt a sense of presence and being that brought to mind a childhood experience at YMCA camp when he was 10. Walking to the camp store on a narrow, winding road through a redwood grove, it had been a different way of being for him. Walking that road by himself through the redwoods, immersed in nature, seeing the world fresh with awe, surrounded by a sense of being and the presence of those giant trees. This afternoon, he sits in a small open hut in a Japanese garden, where he often comes to write. He watches as a camellia sheds a delicate pink petal onto moss raked clean earlier this morning by the gardener. He hears water tumbling over stones, cascading down a precipice to the koi pond behind him. He sits in reflection, recalling how he came to understand his life as he sees it now. On an evening several years ago, he noticed suddenly, with no awareness of thinking about it, that there was no self here watching his experience. There was just the experience itself. Looking back, an odd thing, he thinks, for him to notice this. In any case, this observation dramatically altered the way he understood himself and the world. He now experienced himself as an integral part of this world rather than an outside observer. There was no self separate from the world. To make a choice of thought or decide what he would do, he was not able to imagine a greater change in his relation to life. He came to see there is just the natural flow of things and the thusness of being. The notion of Tao captures his view of the world well. He appreciated the realization of this oneness had been the most profound gift he had ever received. He came to see there is just the natural flow of things and the thusness of being. The notion of Tao captures his view of the world well. He appreciated the realization of this oneness had been the most profound gift he had ever received.